YouTube, we are back for another upload in relation to Jeremy's Detective Comics number 33. So what are we doing? What we are doing is we are going to check out the interior wrap that we washed and deacidified last upload. And here it is. And the reason why we washed and deacidified the wrap is because we just do that when we conserve comics. But more importantly, I performed the deacidification on the wrap and then I let it dry. And the main goal in doing that is to test the color of the perimeter of the base newsprint, which is the tan right here. Because if I did not do that, what would happen is I would not be able to match the color, because once you soak the cover and deacidify it, and in our case we deacidified it with calcium carbonate, I would not know the color of the page of the newsprint when it was wet. So it's very important to me, and I am quite excited that I now feel that it is the benchmark of the conservation community that you want to match the paper pulp. I know there was discussions in different uploads and different channels where it doesn't matter, you're just putting the pulp in, it's just to show the integrity of the pulp, and it really doesn't matter about the color match, but to me it does. So here is the pulp that I tested last upload, and I have to tell you, I am not happy with the color match of this pulp, and we're gonna have to work on it a little bit more. In particular, you may be looking at it and saying, wow, Jerry, that's like pretty close in my opinion. It matches okay in my opinion. And the reason I don't think it matches that well is that it's missing an orange tint. So I think we need to make this a little bit more orange. That is what my artistic eye is telling me. So how are we going to make this a little bit more orange? And guys, get ready. This is a first that I'm going to share this. This is a secret that I have in the Jerry the Jitterbug channel. So what is the secret? May I tell you? Sure, I share pretty much everything with my viewers. I would say about 90%. And this is going to be something that I'm going to share for the first time. And it deals with tinting the paper pulp. And how are we going to tint the paper pulp to make it a little bit better, or to make it closer to what we want, or we want a little orange like I said? Well, let me get rid of the wrap and I'm going to show you in a second. So the secret is, you ready? Turmeric. Ground turmeric, that is. And it's a spice. And I steal it from my wife from the kitchen. And I've been using this for quite some time on Jerry the Jitterbug's channel. But I have not explained how I used it or shared it with my viewers. So this wonderful little powder, natural, is what color, guys? It is an orange tint. And to me, it is the orange tint that adds the color match, or adds to the color match, which is my goal. So how do we translate the turmeric right here to paper pulp to get that orange tint? It's right here, guys. So what we have in this little glass container or vessel is turmeric and hot water, okay? So I put the turmeric in first, and then I do use hot water, tap, of course. And then you really give it a nice mixing, okay? A nice mixing. And then what happens is the water turns to an orange tint, just like that. And what we want to do is we want to let the turmeric do what it does with the water, turning it orange. And by stirring it really hard, it turns and makes a natural dye. And it's a good natural dye that we can add to the paper pulp. I like to let it settle a little bit so the powdered turmeric falls to the bottom. It usually takes about 2 or 3 hours, sometimes a little bit more. After the turmeric powder falls to the bottom, we have a nice orange water, and we're going to use this to add to our paper pulp right here. Now this is a paper pulp that is shown right here, and I think a little orange tint will make it look a lot closer to the inner wraps of Jeremy's Detective Comics 33. Hold on, let's stir it up a little bit. So that's a trick, guys. This is a trick that I am showing you. And I like to take my brush, and I like to incorporate the dried pieces of pulp. And you have to store the pulp in the refrigerator. You can't let it sit too long outside. You know, a couple of days. But if it's going to be an extended period of time, the refrigerator is the way to go. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. We're going to let the turmeric fall to the bottom. And I'll be right back in a few hours. Okay, guys, we're back. So it's been sitting for a few hours, and we're going to pour a little bit of the water. I think that's enough. And we're going to see whether there is a change, if a little orange tint is going to occur on the paper pulp as a result of putting the water turmeric. We'll do a little bit more, just like that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to stir it up off camera on the side, right here. And I'm going to stir it up for a few minutes, then we're going to get our mat ready, and we're going to do a nice little round paper example of whether it changed the color to closer to the interior of the wrap. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, we're back. We let it stir up a little bit. Let me shut my oil burner off. And now we're going to test, and we're going to make a little round test disc to see. This may not be sexy, guys. May not be super exciting. But this is conservation, and this is what I do. My primary aspect of my channel is conservation. Everyone knows that, right? Jerry the Jitterbug, the conservator. In fact, I am in the Ring of Honor, if you didn't know. And I feel very privileged to be in the Ring of Honor for the Comic Book Community Awards. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is a little too clumpy. It needs to be stirred a little bit more. we're going to try it. We're going to do it this way, and we'll stir it a little bit more when we do the leaf casting. Right, guys? Right now, we just want to get a color match, or at least try to get a color match. And that's the main goal of doing this. So everyone have, and again, guys, I may be a little slow right now, but I'm very tired. I worked a very long day when I am doing this upload. And I want to make content for my viewers. And I also want to get Jeremy's book done. But we have to do it right. And I'm Italian. I'm not Russian. So I have to take my time. And this is the way I do things. So right here, if you can tell, there is a nice orange tint that the turmeric has created. And I think, and I hope at least, that this will be enough tint to match up with the interior of Jeremy's page. And it's on, it shows, and I'm going to be upfront with you, that not all pages are the same. And especially if they're from different books. You're dealing with a situation where page by page can be different in colors, and you have to be very particular, and sometimes a lot of work is necessary in order to make sure that the page color is matching up the way it should be. So now we're just going to take my hand, push it down just like this so we can get some of the water off. And you see right here, there's no darkness. The turmeric does not bleed. It does not bleed at all, where it will affect the inner pages at all. There's a little right here in the Rimet that's darker, but that is from just using the Rimet over and over, and there is colors that go through with the paper that you use. And when you leaf cast and you use the paper over and over, there is a little color transfer. So we're just going to get this guy ready, and we're going to test it, and we're going to see if this will match up. So what is the lesson, guys? What is the cool thing about this upload? The cool thing about this upload is that there are many things that you can use, natural things. You're not using acrylic paints or dyes or anything like that. You're using natural things such as spices, turmeric. I've used teas before, different types of teas to blend or to tint the color pulp. We use different color papers, as everyone knows, to get the color pulp the way you want. But using the natural methods, using the papers, okay, the different color papers, blending it together. I use the bleach, which is not too natural. People don't like that, but that's okay. Some people. So by using these things, you can make a better product. And my general rule is, if you can put it in your stomach, if you can eat it, just eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. It's non-toxic, minus the bleach. You can use it to dye or to manipulate the color of the pulp, okay? And that is what we are doing here. So we're going to end this upload, and I am going to dry this, and then we are going to use this upload as a segue to go right into leaf casting the last few wraps, and hopefully this will match up nicely. So tell me what you think, guys. Do you like this method? Are you going to try to use it if you do leaf casting? Let me know if you think I'm, again, nuts or crazy. If you haven't hit that sub button, hit the sub button. And I appreciate your support. And stay tuned.